Good morning, friends. In the last, this is the I think third class on finance. Third class on finance. In the past two classes, I have not used any mask. So some viewers have suggested me to use mask. But friends, the issue is that if I use mask, there will be the issue of suffocation. The way I am talking, no fan is above our head, because if the fan goes on, then it will create some noise. And moreover, here there is no gathering, only burning 2 or 3. So I am playing. I am working at a distance, at a 10 feet distance. So friend, that's why I am not using mask, because the mask will help my sound to be distorted. Okay, so that is the problem of not using mask. Okay. The topic today I am going to take up is finance in the broad perspective, and the subtopic is company, the concept, and the company finance. I think, friend, the topic is very long. So for this presentation, I am making two-part presentation. In one part, I am clarifying the concept of company, and in part B, which will be uploaded a bit later on, and that will be the company finance. Okay. So now come to the basic point, basic topic today, subtopic, the company. Now, what a company is? What a company? Company. Yesterday, when I was talking on, I was delivering some material with regards to the different types of ownership pattern. That is the ownership patterns of the business enterprises. There I have told you that there may be single owner. One, the ownership, I have told you, one is public sector ownership, public sector, that is government organization, and there is another private sector. That is private sector is owned by the public sector enterprises, are owned by the private individual or individuals. And there will be another part, and that is joint sector. And this joint sector, it's owned both the participation of the private and the government. So these are the basic division of ownership pattern of the business houses. Number one, private sector, where all the enterprises are owned by the private individuals, maybe one individual or maybe more than one individual. And there is another sector which is owned by the government, and there is third part that is jointly owned by the government and the private individuals. That is the fund. Accumulated from both sources of government and the sources from private. Now this private sector may be of two types, where the ownership is mono ownership, and here I am telling poly ownership. Mono means single. Mono ownership refers to the organization is owned. It is funded, it is managed by a single individual. That is known as mono ownership. And more or less the common name of mono ownership is sole proprietorship business. Sole, S-O-L-E, sole, single proprietorship. That is the business house. That is the house, organization, business enterprise owned by a single private individual is known as mono ownership. Now, when the ownership of an organization rests on more than one individual, that is known as poly ownership. But the poly ownership organizations, as I have already told you in the last occasion, it is partnership organization, funded, owned and managed by more than one individual. Then joint Hindu family business, where the family is the owner, and each and every member of the family have their own stake in the organization. So this is two. There are other organizations which are formed as per some laws, as per some regulation. One is cooperative society. Cooperative societies are formed and registered as per the provisions of the Cooperative Society Act. There, the funds for running the organization are collected through the issue of shares among the members, and that is cooperative form of organization. And the other form of organization is known as company. Company is also an organization, industrial enterprise, where the funds collected from the members through issue of shares, and that is known as share capital. So a company is an ownership form which can easily be designated as poly ownership organization. So this is the more or less the primary discussion on the ownership pattern of the business house. So this is the ownership pattern. Please, whenever you will be studying any topic, the backdrop should be taken into your consideration input, because it would help you developing a clear conception as to the topic which you are going to take up. Now the company. Come to a layman's view. What is the meaning of company? Company means whenever anyone say your father is telling, say आपका मम्मी पापा आपको मम्मी को बोलिए जानते हो आपको लड़का बर्बाद हो गया, आपको लड़का बर्बाद हो गया, your son has gone to dog. बोले क्यों? मेरा बच्चों को बारे में ऐसा मत बोलो. बोले सुनो, बर्बाद तो अभी पूरा नहीं हुआ लेकिन होने वाला है. बोले क्यों? अरे उसका कंपनी देखा, वैसा कंपनी जिसका रहेगा वो बर्बाद होगा. Then what does he mean about this company? Company means associates, that is the friend circle, or the persons with whom the man is attached to and man is related. So company generally refers to associates. But if anyone who has not gone through any accounting, any commerce, any finance, any business studies, then to such a layman, a company refers to associates. Associates means those with whom a particular person is. So associates. But whenever we are toiling a lot in this classroom, delivering lectures on company, we are not supposed to mean it only an association. Still it is an association. Okay? So company, the first thing is that a company is always an association of persons. This is the first feature of a company. There cannot be a company by one individual. Of course, there are some exceptions. There can be one-man company, and that is some different thing that I am not taking up right now. So a company is an association of persons. Clear? This is number one. But any association of persons may be regarded as a company. Should all the association of persons should be regarded as a company? The cooperative society should not be regarded as a company. The partnership should not be regarded as a company. Joint Hindu family business should not be regarded as a company. Although there are a good number, more than one persons are involved in the process. So we must not say that a company. In order to be a company, we follow the the legal definition of company. A company, as per the Companies Act, 1956. A company is a person. A company is an association of persons. Association of persons. Mind it, association of persons. Okay. Mean for carrying on an enterprise, commercial or industrial, formed and registered, as per the provisions of the Companies Act, especially 1956. So this is the comprehensive definition of a company. A company is an association of persons. It is an association of persons. As I have told you, it is an association of persons. This association is meant for carrying on an enterprise. It will carry on an enterprise. So this company must be an enterprise. Okay, and it may be commercial enterprise or it may be an industrial enterprise. Commercial enterprises having the practice of trading, and industrial operations are concerned with manufacturing. Okay, and formed and registered as per the provisions of the Companies Act. So it will be regarded as a company. That association will be regarded as a company when and only when it is formed and registered as per the provisions of the Companies Act 1956. So, Companies Act 1956 has laid down how the organization, what are the formalities, what are the procedure, what is the process of getting an enterprise to be registered, to be formed, to be regarded as a company form of organization. So, a company is an association of persons meant for carrying on any business, enterprise, commercial and industrial, formed and registered as per the provisions of the Companies Act. Okay, that means the association has got the birth by what? It has got the birth by dint of law. So, a company is a creation of law. Is a creation of law. And in case of sole proprietorship, it is not created by law. It is generally a person can carry on the business, but a good number of persons, when they register their company, register their organization, it becomes a company and it is created by law. Clear? Since it is created by law, it is known as a body corporate. A company is a body corporate. A company is a body corporate. Corporate means corpus, okay? So legal, body corporate. So company is a creation of law, company is a body corporate. Clear? And since it is registered as per the provisions of the Companies Act or any act it may be, it is regarded as a person. A company is regarded as a person. I am right. A person. A company is a person. But have you seen any company as a, have you seen any person? The company to be regarded as a person, it does not have any physical or tangible existence. You have not seen any person who is working here and there, going to Kolkata, making trips to, making foreign trips, meeting Mamata Banerjee or Narendra Modi ji or Amit Shah or XYZ. You have not seen anybody, but it is a person. So what type of person? It is a person, it is an intangible person, it is not shown, it cannot be seen, it cannot be touched. Okay, So it is a person existing in the eyes of the law. As the association of person is registered as per the provisions of the Companies Act, it becomes a person. What type of person? It is an artificial person. An artificial person. It is an artificial person. And this, it is person only in the eyes of the law. It is such a person, देखो, you can touch any person, right or not? Yes. You can kick any person, but company is a person, which has no soul to be damned. जिसको कोई हृदय नहीं है, जिसको हम दुख दे सकते हैं. It has no body to whom I can kick. So it is a person with no soul to be damned, no body to be kicked. Okay. So it is a person. What type of person? It is a person only. It is a person only exists in the eye of the law. Clear? And since it is created by law, we the human being human beings take our birth, and a time will come when we will leave this world. But a company in that way does not die. Okay? It has got perpetual succession. Say a good number of persons have formed the organization, and if those persons die, the company will not die. Okay? It will exist as before. So that is why it is stated the perpetual succession, perpetual and continuous. So death of a member of a company does not result in the death of the company. Okay? Death of any member of the company does not mean the death of the company, because the person who have contributed funds to the company, the persons who have formed the organization, have a distinct feature from the company. So company has some distinct personality. Okay, so it is a distinct personality as different from the persons creating it. Okay, the person promoting the company have their own respective status, respective personality, and the company has its own personality. And this is why the company has a name. Okay, it must have a name, okay, a distinct name. Clear? Mr. Solomon has promoted an organization. Okay? And it is known as Solomon and Company. You have not seen Mr. Solomon and Company. There is a very, very good example. I am telling you, giving you the example. Mr. Solomon, it's a case in England. Mr. Solomon is a trader. Okay? Because I think he is a trader of shoes, like so far as I can recall. He was a trader of shoes. And he took huge loan from the market. He took huge loan, crores of pounds from the general public. Clear? Now what happened? The persons from whom he took the loan visited his house. Oh, Mr. हम लोग का रुपया दीजिए, हमको टका दो, रुपया दो, किसका रुपया? जो आपने लोन लिए, बोले मैंने लोन लिए, बोले आप लोन नहीं लिए, बोलो मैं कहाँ लोन लिए? अरे भाई आप लोग बुड़बक है क्या? पैसा आप आए, आपको सिग्नेचर है, लोन लिए? बोले नहीं, मैं कोई लोन नहीं लिए. ये क्या तजुब आता है? The man is saying he himself came to us, he took the funds from us, and he asserted that he would pay that very near within 2 months or 3 months or 4 months. But now he is telling, no, I have not taken any loan. ये पागल हो गया क्या? But it is not Bengal. Okay, Bengal होता तो दीदी उनको भाई लोगों को भेज देती, भाई लोग अगर पीटा के पैसा ले लेते. लेकिन it is England, so no such anarchy. Clear? It is not India. No government, no Dada Didi, no political party will interfere. Only the law of the land will decide. So the creditors filed a suit, okay, against him. Now the court has taken up the responsibility to consider the whole issue. Clear? Then on the date of verdict, so the judge asked him, "Did you take any? I mean, you have taken huge amount of loan from these fellows." So this fellow, when he was entering into the court, do you know what happened? It is fact. The creditors, those who have given funds to him, बोले आज बाचा लोन का बहुत कुछ होगा, आज होगा, आज तुम पास होगा, तुम जाओ जेल में जाओ. So then the judge asked, honorable judge asked him, "You have taken loan from them?" He said, "No." They started crying. "Sir, ये मिथ्या कथा बोलते हैं, the man is telling lie. He has taken the loan." बोले वो लोन लिए हैं तो दिखाओ कि कहाँ लोन लिए हैं. बोला आपको दिखाने के लिए बोलिए कहाँ मैं लोन लिए हैं. बोला हाँ, सिग्नेचर तो उसका ही है, सोलोमन का सिग्नेचर. लेकिन क्या लिखा हुआ है नीचे में? फॉर Solomon and Company. Okay, Solomon and Company. Understood? So the loan has been taken by Mr. Solomon, but not for him, not in his own capacity, in the capacity of the company. Herein, this is the most beautiful example as to the separate legal entity. Separate legal entity. Separate legal entity of a company as distinct from the persons who have or who has formed it. Clear? It's a separate legal entity. And itna also, a company is an association of persons meant for carrying on business, commercial business or industrial business, which is formed and registered as per the provisions of the Companies Act. So the association of person must be there. This is number one. Association of person must be there, and that person, that association should be registered as per the provisions of any law. Okay. As soon as it is registered as per the provisions of the company law, it gains what? It gains, and firstly, a name, a distinct name. It gains a name. So it is a name. It gets a name. When the name is given, it becomes a person. Okay, it becomes a person. It becomes a person. But what type of person? It is an artificial person. Artificial. Why? Because this person cannot be seen. It exists only in the eyes of the law. It exists only in the eyes of the law. So it is the personality which is distinct from the member who have formed it. So distinct personality, artificial personality, and artificial because the company has it is a person, but it has no body to be kicked, no soul to be damned. Clear? And the company works under a common seal. So common seal. Without seal, no company can exist. Clear? So whoever sign over there, the seal of the company is the foremost thing. This is the difference. The signature of Mr. Solomon in his personal capacity is the same as Mr. Solomon when he is signing for the company. But he is working for the company, but he is not the company. Clear? Because it is a distinct personality. So these are the basic features of a company. So a company, the concept for getting the idea of the company, you have to learn the ownership pattern. The ownership pattern I have already told you. Or there are two types of ownership pattern. There are basic ownership pattern three. One is private sector organization, which are owned by the private individual, and the one is government sector organization, which is owned by the government. Now there are organizations which are funded by both government and the private individual. The amounts are collected from both, and this is joint sector organization. But in private sector organization, we are considering right now, and private sector organization has got two types of ownership. One is mono ownership, that is the single ownership, and the other one is poly ownership, more than one. Poly ownership, partnership, public society, okay, joint into family business, and the company. In case of a company is a distinct organization. In order to be a company in the eyes of the law, it must be registered as per the provisions of a Companies Act, as the provisions of the Companies Act. So this is the total discussion as to the concept of the company. So what's a company? A company is an association of persons meant for carrying on business in any enterprise, commercial or industrial, which is formed and registered as per the provisions of the Companies Act. And now, if you identify the features of the company is an association of persons. This association of persons must be carrying on any business enterprise. Okay, it will be commercial or industrial. And a registration is the first and foremost thing. No registration, no company can be formed. And as soon as it is registered, it gets its own name. Okay, its own name. And although the name is there, since the name is given, it becomes a person. But what type of person? It is a person with artificial person, with no soul to be done, no body to decay. Okay, and it has a distinct personality, and it must work on the basis of the common sin, and it has perpetual succession. The death of a member who have formed the company does not result in the death of the company. Company can be liquidated. Company or in some legal process. So since it is some through legal process, the company has been formed, has taken its birth. In the same way, the death of the company can be effected through the legal process. So a company has got a juristic personality. Juristic means legal personality. Okay, it's a body corporate. Since it is bought by, it is just taken its birth from law. It has different personality as distinct from the members. So it is all about the concept of the company. Okay, this is first part of my today's class. Now, just after 5 minutes, I am coming again for taking up the second part, company governance. It's a more or less comprehensive area, and I am coming back within 5 minutes. Okay, so thank you very much. Stay tuned with us.